So you're thinking about making a move to Boerne, Texas. In this video, I'm going to show you around Boerne on Google Maps. It'll give you a great idea of where Boerne is in relation to San Antonio and its surrounding areas, and it'll give you a good idea of just how cute and quaint this suburb is. If this is your first time to our channel and you'd like to know everything there is to know about living in San Antonio and its surrounding areas, make sure you subscribe or tap the bell below to ensure that you are one of the first to get notified when we drop a new video about the current market. My name is Katie Powers, and my husband Steven Garza and I get phone calls from people just like you every single day who are looking to make a move into our area. Whether you're 6 days or 6 months away, we would absolutely love to hear from you. All of our information is listed right below in the description box, and we would be honored to be your realtors of choice to help you make that smooth transition into San Antonio. Now, let's jump in to Boerne, Texas. So right now we have Boerne on the map. This is in Google, of course, so you can see the lines of Boerne and just how spread out it is. So if I zoom out, you can see in relation to San Antonio, we've got San Antonio about 15 minutes south of Boerne off of I-10, and you're an hour from Fredericksburg, which is up here. And then you have Kerrville over to the right. All right, so let's jump in. Now, Boerne is located right off I-10, which is the main freeway. Now, something that you may not know, maybe you do, but I-10 is a main freeway that goes from the complete east side of our country in Florida and goes all the way across through Texas, all the way to California. Now in San Antonio is when it gets a little wonky, and it's very comical when I first moved here and when I have clients first move here, because I-10 should be east to west, but in San Antonio, it's north and south. Because it comes in here, I can show you so you don't think I'm crazy. It comes in from the east, right? Coming in from Florida, and it comes in, and when it comes into San Antonio, it makes a sharp northward motion. So it does that because if you continue down I-10 all the way across Texas, you'll end up in Mexico, because San Antonio is the southern, it's central, but it's a little south. So it comes in, so on all the signs in San Antonio, it's north and south I-10 instead of east and west, which we're one of the only cities that it does this on I-10. So it will come up through San Antonio and through Boerne and through Kerrville to Junction, and then it starts paralleling out and going west to California, right? If it stayed, you would end up having to go through Mexico. So it doesn't work that way. So it's just a fun little fact there about I-10. It is actually north and south in San Antonio. So when I say that, if you have traveled I-10 and you know that it is from the east to the west, I promise you I'm not crazy. It's really just in San Antonio that it's north and south. So like I said, this is I-10 right here. It goes straight through Boerne and comes down into San Antonio, and it does cut San Antonio right in half. So it is one of the main freeways through. And then you also have 46 here, and it comes into Boerne and does the same little north and south. It comes in west and then north and south and then goes back out east. So 46 is also a main road. It's not a freeway, but it is a highway. So, and it comes through Boerne as well. Now, some really cool things about Boerne as we zoom in here. If you have a chance, make sure you check out our Boerne video, our vlog where we tour Boerne and show you around town. In that video, I'm right here in the town park, right in the center here, the main plaza park. And you have Main Street. So Boerne is one of the absolute cutest downtown areas. I mean, it rivals Fredericksburg, and I love Fredericksburg. Great shopping, great wine, it's just a great town. And Boerne is really very similar. You have a very cute downtown filled with lots of shops. So whether you're antiquing or wanting to go to some boutique clothing shops, or you're looking for some good food, they have a couple up and coming like new bars that you can go to there, but it's just a really cute downtown area. You can spend the full day there. It's grown so much that it's just full of restaurants and shops, and just a really fun day you could spend. Now, on the main plaza park, they do like trade shows and arts and crafts shows. So there's always something happening in that area, which is really cool. And then you also have, so it is 46, but when it goes through Boerne, it's called River Road. And they have this River Road Park right here with some trails all along Cibolo Creek River. And it's just very peaceful and very pretty little walk, and the river's really pretty there. You've got some really pretty big houses to look at across and some nice restaurants across the street. So a really cute area, but those are the main two streets in Boerne. You've got Main Street here, you've got Main Street right here, and then you've got 46, but it's also River Road. So those are your main two streets. So Boerne has a population of 18,745. It is growing. They do keep it a very small town feel. And what I really like most about Boerne is you can have a home in the neighborhoods with really great schools, really great school districts. But you can have in a neighborhood with like a smaller size lot, or you can find a lot of acreage. So one thing about Boerne is it is very spread out. So even though it's not Boerne proper, pretty much all of these neighborhoods, all the way, even Cordillera, which if you haven't seen, one of the Spurs basketball players just put their house up for sale, and it's in Cordillera. That's considered Boerne, and he has it for sale for like 15 million. So Cordillera, also George Strait, I believe, lives in Cordillera. So if you want, you know, anywhere from 10 to 50 acre tracts, Cordillera is the place. Absolutely beautiful homes. There's a nice golf course. It's a really nice neighborhood. So there's a lot of different big neighborhoods, which you even have some off I-10 if you come up this way, close over here. This is still considered Boerne. So there's like Tapatio Springs over here, which is another great neighborhood with a golf course. So the population is really spread out in Boerne. It's not 18,000 people just in this little main area of Boerne. So it's really, really great town. Like I said, the schools, according to niche.com, they are rated an A+. Niche.com also voted Boerne as number 49 out of 471 cities for top schools in a small town. So they are public schools, but they are some of the top rated and most sought after public schools in Texas. So to be listed number 49 out of 471, there's a reason for it. And it's because these schools are amazing. So you have two main high schools, and they're right in the middle of town. So you have the original Boerne High School right here off Esser Road. And then you have Boerne Champion, which is the new school right here. And Steve tells a story in our other video, which I thought was very interesting. Boerne Champion High School was named after the principal that led the school at Boerne High when he passed away. They named the new high school in Boerne after him. So that's pretty cool. And Steve went to school when Mr. Champion was the principal. So just some fun history there, but they're really great schools. They're rated really high for academics and athletics. And you have a ton of new builds coming up. Like in our video, we show you Esperanza, which is, it starts here, but it goes all the way up here. And this is a really cool neighborhood. So we kind of talked about it in our video. You can see here how you have entrances and there's these little like circles. These are like those little niches. So every part of this neighborhood is a gated community, but you don't just have this massive, 2,000 homes with 1 or 2 gated entrances. They break it into like 50 to 200 home sections. And so you have your individual gate for each section. They do that to help keep values growing in the area. So your home at 500,000 is not going to be next to a $1.8 million house, right? They put the 4 to 500s in one area and then the 6 to 700 in another area. So it really helps those values stay strong and continuously grow together. So that's a really cool thing about Esperanza. It's very beautiful. But right here off of 46, you have a ton of new neighborhoods that have popped up. And then you have Boerne City Park right off River Road. And then you also have Herf Park, which is over here next to Champions High School. And then one of my favorite parks is the Cibolo Center for Conservation. So we just call it Cibolo Park, but it is a huge park. It is for conservation. So there's so much wildlife. It's absolutely beautiful to go for the trails and walk in there. I know a lot of local photographers use this place to do photography because it's gorgeous. So that is something to keep in mind. There's parks everywhere. And you also have the Cascade Caverns, which is down here in Boerne. That's really cool. If you want to go walk a cavern and see all the stalactites and stalagmites, it's really beautiful. The kids really love it. It's a great activity to do in the summer because when you go down into that cavern, it's very cool. So you get out from the sun and you get a little cool weather down in the cavern. So really cool thing to do there as well. Now, what I want to talk about as well is location. So because Boerne is only 15, 20 minutes to San Antonio, it really just depends on the traffic of that day and what time you're going. You have a lot of great things in between. So I know we've talked about in some other videos, we've talked about the rim right here at the I-10-1604 corridor. We have what's called the rim over here, and then we have La Cantera over here. So the rim is like a big movie theater. We have like the Palladium there. You've got Target. You've got a bunch of really cool restaurants and shopping, like Saks Fifth is there. Then you have Six Flags right in the middle. And then at La Cantera, it's a really nice mall, but it's an outdoor mall. So you can peruse the mall outside. And then when you go inside the shops, it's nice and cold and AC. So really great stuff to do around there, great restaurants. But this area has grown so much here on I-10 that you have restaurants popping up everywhere. You have a really big, popular neighborhood right here called the Dominion. And then you also have what is Fair Oaks. So Fair Oaks is, when the locals talk about Boerne, they kind of encompass Fair Oaks. Fair Oaks and Boerne have basically merged into one because it's just the way the city is growing. But Fair Oaks is like a country club / suburb of Boerne and San Antonio. That is where Steve grew up. They have some really beautiful homes on some acreage there. And then you just go up a little bit further and then you hit into downtown Boerne. So you're really close to big shopping and there's so many wonderful restaurants all around. And yet you're still next to some really great parks. So you're really close to San Antonio and all the good shopping and restaurants. I mean, people come from all over San Antonio to this area for the food and shopping. So you're very close to all of the good food and shopping that San Antonio and Boerne. And you're also officially in the hill country in Boerne. So you're going to start seeing some really great, you're going to start seeing some really great hills and nature, and San Antonio is very flat. And when you start getting to Boerne, you start seeing a lot of hills. The locals are going to call them mountains. They're not going to call them hills, but they are not mountains. They are hills. And if you are from an area that has true mountains, you will laugh at us, but it's just absolutely beautiful. So you also have Boerne Lake. So this is a super amazing day activity to do with your kids or with your family. Boerne Lake, what I love most about Boerne Lake is they don't allow motors, like any motor boats or sea-doos. Nothing with a motor is allowed in this lake. So you can genuinely rest easy with your children swimming in this because nobody is being crazy on their boat or sea-doos. A lot of people will go to Boerne Lake with their kayaks and canoes, and it's just a great park. They do not allow alcohol anymore. Like, you can't even bring your ice chest and bring alcohol. They've completely banned alcohol, which also makes it a very safe area for children to run around and have fun. But I will say they do have a really cute, what do I want to call it? I guess they call it a beer garden, but it does have food, and it has a big like jumpy house for the kids, and it's right outside of the entrance to Boerne Lake. It's called Random, and it's just a big field, and they have like a beer garden and a restaurant right there, and then this big field for the kids to go play. So it'll be fun to like spend the day swimming and then spend the evening, letting the kids wear out the energy they have left and enjoying a beverage and some good food. So you do have Boerne Lake. That's going to be your closest body of water when you're living in Boerne. And then you're not very far from Canyon Lake as well. So Canyon Lake is just over here to the east, right over here. So you're not far. You just take 46 straight. 46 will take you straight to Canyon Lake. You are about 35 to 45 minutes to Canyon Lake from Boerne, but like I said, most people in Boerne are going to end up going to Boerne Lake. But if you do have a boat or a sea-doo and you want to get some skiing done or some boat time, Canyon Lake is your lake to go do that. That's your closest lake for that fun activities. Now, the average sales price for the median sales price for Boerne is $585. So this community does increase the sales price a little more than what you're going to see in San Antonio. And most of that is because of a location and schools, and it's the hill country. So the views and everything you see is just very beautiful. So your price points, now you can find homes in Boerne in the 350s, and it'll go all the way up to, clearly, if you got to Cordillera Ranch, up to 15 million. So whatever you're looking for and whatever price point, you can pretty much find it in Boerne. It's gonna start around 350. Every now and then you can find a home in the 300s, but for the most part, it is gonna start at 350. I hope this was super helpful for you to really give you a good idea of where Boerne is in correlation to San Antonio and all the great benefits that Boerne has to offer. It really is an absolutely cute town that has people moving from all over the country to it because it gives you that country life feel, but you're really close to all the amenities that the city has to offer. And with those top-rated schools, it's really just a good family-oriented type of town. So if you have any questions or would like to talk more about Boerne, please feel free to leave a comment or give us a call. All of our information is right there in the description box, like we said earlier. So thank you so much, and we'll see you on the next one.